As 2024 comes to an end and 2025 right around the corner, I think it's time for a desk setup tour. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish this setup, and that's because some behind the scenes things came up and I actually have to take this down and rebuild somewhere completely different because I'm moving. I have planned out the new setup, but I do have to work out some things, but just stay tuned on the other social medias for some updates and stuff like that because the new setup is going to be super clean. I do spend a lot of my time in here, working, playing games, editing, and all that stuff, so it kind of just sucks that we have to take it apart and rebuild. But I'm also excited for the new change. This was a room where I built my first PC, my first setup, posted my first TikTok and stuff like that, and started all this content creation. So it kind of just sucks that we have to let it go. Anyways, since all of that is happening, 2024 and a new setup coming soon, I think it's a great way to say goodbye by giving a desk setup tour. This will just be the desk because as you can see, the whole room is empty. The setup was never finished. But anyways, let's begin. First, the desk. The desk is a typical IKEA Alex drawer Linman tabletop. It's 200 centimeter long, which is perfect length for a 3-monitor setup. Plus I can put my PC up here. It has some things in it, so I wouldn't really recommend the Linman tabletop, but it's fine. I'm not going to go through exactly what's in the drawers and stuff like that. It's just basically random stuff, cleaning supplies, extra fans, the cable drawer, of course, tools, snacks, you get the idea. The risers are from Amazon. They're the BQLZR furniture risers. They add the aesthetic and the raise up the desk, which is nice. Just on this left Alex drawer, I have the Nanoleaf black triangles. This is the last thing I've added, which they sent out to me for Black Friday, which is pretty sweet. And these actually look really nice on here. Now I'm just gonna go left to right what's on my desk, and keep in mind this is very minimal. I kept it that way. I like it really nice and clean. I don't like the clutter and stuff like that. But basically right at the end of here, I have a fake plant. It has some weight to it and it just looks nice. Some greenery adds some color and stuff like that. I have another one right in the middle here, right above my keyboard. Looking to get some real ones for the new setup, just to add some green, and it makes it look really clean. Moving a little bit over, I have my Scarlett Focusrite Solo to power my mic, the AT2020. It's a good mic and interface setup, never gave me any problems for the past 2 years. It looks clean, very clean audio, and super simple to set up. Right beside that, I have the Elgato Stream Deck Neo. Elgato sent me this out when they dropped the Neo line products. It's really clean. I barely use this thing because it's so far out of the way, and the only reason it's out of the way is because I don't have an extension for it. Just never got the chance to go get one. Otherwise, it would probably be somewhere around here right above my keyboard. And then right on my desk, you have my PC. My PC has been through a lot of changes over the years, adding some parts, changing the case, stuff like that, putting some upgrades into it. But here the specs are as of now. So I have a Ryzen 5 5600X with a Gigabyte Radeon 7800 XT, an Asus B550-A gaming motherboard, Corsair Vengeance 16GB RAM at 3600 MHz. It's powered by a Corsair RM750 power supply. It's got a Lian Li Galahad 360mm AIO with 6 Lian Li Uni fans with some storage, and it's all in the 4000D Airflow by Corsair. It's such a beautiful case. It's not too bad, it plays games great. I don't have any problems when editing, even 4K and stuff like that. It works perfectly fine. I don't run into issues. I'm still looking to add some new upgrades to it, maybe a new CPU in the future, which means a new motherboard, but yeah. For the peripherals, I use a GMMK Pro for the keyboard with Kali Purple's switches and some Akko keycaps. It's very smooth, it sounds great, it's not too clicky or doesn't sound obnoxious or anything like that. Got the Logitech MX Master 3, for the editing and the working and stuff like that, and then the HyperX Pulsefire Haste 2 for the gaming. For the mousepad right now, I'm rocking the Gutsy mousepad, the swirl design I believe it is. Pretty clean mousepad, I never had an issue with it, thick, all that stuff. For the monitors, all these monitors are mounted to the wall, by the way. For the left and right, I have the Asus 24-inch 1080p 60Hz panel. Simple, mainly just for Discord and, tabs and stuff like that. And then my main monitor is an MSI 1080p 1440Hz for gaming. And don't worry, I know you need to upgrade. I am looking for something that's 1440p, something around the 240Hz range or something like that. But in the future, not right now. This has been getting the job done for me. All of them are mounted to the wall. The left and the middle are using 2 TV generic mounts, and the middle one is actually using a monitor mount. It's a full swivel one, but even though it stays at the same height, but it's a good option. All of the cables are routed back here as well. I'm not gonna go in depth with the cable management or anything. I do have a video with some tips and tricks and how I did my cable management, so if you wanna check that out, I'll put a link down. I also have two Govee floodlight bars back there just to give some illumination behind the monitors. It's only on the middle monitor right now, so it helps bring some light to the setup. On the wall here, I have these wood sound panels in like a black brown color. They don't do much for sound, but they look really nice. I'm not a big fan of those being overused like on the whole wall. Just this little slit or this little section here with the nano leaves on top just looks so clean. These are mounted to the wall using pieces of wood, that way they're elevated a bit and I can run some cables back there if I need to. Over here above the setup, I just have these 3 IKEA pegboards. They are pretty empty right now. I just packed away some keyboards and some Lego cards that were up there. And I do have this graphics card, which is a RX 570, I believe. It's just a spot to showcase some personality, which every setup needs. Well, that is pretty much up for the setup. I believe I did go through everything that I wanted to. Maybe not as much detail, but I do have to get rid of this, so it's kind of sad. I do have this wall here as well that I wanted to show off. It has some Travis Scott paintings that were painted by my girlfriend. Another pegboard display with a keyboard and some switches, and I also have my Google Home here, which can control all the lights in my room. There's also a Govee light bar running up there, which adds a good amount of light to the room, and it looks pretty nice. That is mainly just a background that I use for the background of my videos. Right now I'm using my setups for a little change, but it's good to have. Looks nice, and I can show off some personality, of course. I mean, I pretty much went through everything that I wanted in my setup. It does suck that I do have to take it down, but I'm also excited to build another, get to plan, get to redesign and everything like that. And this time I'm gonna put much more detail into it. But yeah, it's like stepping into a new era. It's the way life goes. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and there is a link down there in the description called Everything in My Room, which is a kit.co link that has almost everything in my room. And if I missed anything or if you have any questions, feel free to comment. Other than that, peace.